Um, I'm gonna put us on record just because, and I can go back in there and edit it. But I talked with the guy from the radio station last night, and he
Yeah.
gonna put music on there, and then he gonna introduce us.
Oh, all right.
So let's just get started, and we just go. Y'all want to talk about anything before we get started?
I'm good.
We
No,
just
I'm
gonna
good.
roll. We just gonna roll because you know how we do.
We
Um,
Yeah.
good like that.
let's let's wait. Let it get quiet so I can. Mm, I need to see. Okay, 27, 6, 3. Well, it don't matter.
Oh, I just forgot to say this too, though. I have an event coming this Friday. I do want to be able to announce that to Kim at the end.
Okay, that's cool. Um, Good afternoon, everybody. This is your host, Miss Kim Ford, and our co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Belden Batiste.
Hello, how's everybody doing out there?
Y'all, welcome to the Tree Shaker Show. We're glad y'all here. We have with us today one of our dearest, my sister from another mister. How about that? My girl is Daphne Cross, Lots Academy. I'm so honored to be able to be in your company today, Daph, that we get to enlighten folks about participating in the action. What you're doing when you because sometimes you really could be putting your life in jeopardy going out to an action in these days, in these times. So you really got to be careful about, first of all, the people. It helps when the people who are organizing the march are people that you know.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
if you know who it is, you really need to know who it is. You need to know that they have a security team. You need to know what the programming is, I think, so
Yep.
that you know your purpose for going out there matches their purpose for organizing the action or the protest or the demonstration, because all three is like pretty much the same thing. An action is when you're doing something to get a result. Are you hoping for a result? So that
Yes.
not just marching to be marching, because anybody could do that. You could march up and down inside your house. You don't need to go. You don't need to go out
It's-
in public to do that.
yes, that's the
So,
truth.
um, I tell you, we participated in a few actions ourselves, huh?
Yep.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
We did the three of us together went to Washington D.C. to do the All Faith uh conference in Washington D.C. and uh it was great. We had a great time.
Yes, yes.
And it's also, I think too, that even though this may be some of our listeners first time ever considering going to a march or participating in a march,
Uh-huh.
but we've been doing it for quite some time, and peaceful protest is definitely the way to evoke change, I think. But now, we've been doing peaceful protests for so long that people
Yep.
are frustrated. I know I am frustrated because I have some experience in doing it. And look, it's not all it's cracked up to be, because our leadership has taken a peaceful protest for granted. And I think that has a lot to do with why these protests now are sometimes not even ended up to be peaceful.
That's
Very
right.
radical. Very radical. Yeah.
Very radical. You find them to be very radical now, Daphne?
Yeah, well, yes, the tone of the people that's speaking, yes, very radical. Because was out last week for the whole week last week. Very radical. You could feel like the hooping, the hollering, the which I get it. Everybody is frustrated, very frustrated, and so they take their frustrations out in different ways. I just believe, just let the anger, but don't let it simmer down. We have to have what's step two, what's step three, what are the follow-ups from these people? We need follow-up. So many times we open and then what's the follow-up? So
Right. All right. And that too, you get that from experience. You
Yep.
get
mhm,
that from experience. All of the screaming and shouting. And I tell you, it does provide you with relief. You
mhm.
get relief. Frustration, the frustration that we feeling. Oh man, I'll never forget we went and did that action in front of the Hilton Riverside and Towers, the
Yeah.
empty plate rally. Did you go to that,
Yeah.
Daphne?
No, I don't think I got a chance.
Well, the empty plate rally was when a bunch of us from Justice and Beyond went down to the Hilton Riverside and Towers to protest against the Democratic National Committee because they had these big, highfalutin. They wanted so much money for places that poor people couldn't even afford to go, and we felt like poor people are often being left out of the opportunity to get their voices heard with our elected officials. They
Mhm.
just pushing the poor people to the side. But so that's why we went out there, man, and it was a blast. We had just a wonderful, peaceful time. But we were met with some police presence, and they tried to stop us from marching in front of the hotel. They didn't want their guests to see that, right?
Wow.
But
Yep.
the Constitution and its bad self. It have some words in there that allow citizens to peacefully protest.
That's correct.
That's right.
So
That's correct.
and we had somebody in the group, because it's positions for people in a rally, and you have to have somebody there to be able to represent the group to the police if they should come. And those are the
Yes.
kind of things that you have to make sure are in place, because I know a lady told me this morning that she wanted to go to a rally and she got a 1-year-old baby.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, girl, I would not bring my 1-year-old baby to nobody's protest. I don't do that
Yeah.
because so much is left up to the uncertainty. And when people get involved, it
Yep.
could go off. Things could turn from one thing to another
Another.
Yes.
rather quickly. So you have to be able to keep your wits about you
That's
Yep.
correct.
when you participate in an action. You need to be able to keep your wits about you. You need to keep your eyes and ears open and be
At
alert
Yep.
all
for
times.
trouble so you can
Yes.
get out the way. But that's
Yes.
not what you want to do, And I think most people, especially people that's their first time going, you got to be careful.
You
Very
do.
careful. Yes.
hmm So what
Yes.
you think? What y'all think about that? I mean, I'm talking. I don't want to be doing all the
I
talking because
mean,
you guys have just as much experience as I
I
do.
mean, Kim, I think you right on it because when I started out the protest, I was my first protest. I was 5 years old, and
Oh wow!
when I started out, we know we was trained by the People Institute. We was trained by the 21st Century Youth Leadership and Tamarine and Fan. They taught us from 5 years old how to advocate and protest for ourselves. And and I mean, we even went to Alabama and protest. But we know the rules. We know the guidelines. We know not to have. I want to say sometimes agitation is good, but sometimes some of the agitation people can be overacting, and see by them overacting, same thing you said with the 1 years old baby. The 1 years old
Wait, your audio went out, Noon. You got to say it again.
boy went out.
Sometimes you're
Okay.
Yeah.
1 year old. What?
sometimes you, like you said about the 1 year old baby, you don't need the 1 year olds out there, because if just take anything can happen, and if the crowd go to running, the crowd go to acting a fool, that 1 year old baby can be hurt. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. We used to have Trey. Daphne's son used to come with us out there. He used to
Yes.
be
Yeah,
up front and center wherever we was at. He was at too. Huh,
but
Yeah.
Daphne?
but
Yeah, I
guess
was
what,
gonna.
Kim? The difference was Daphne had taught him how to handle himself. See, he
Yeah.
know how he
Yeah.
know how to handle himself because
That's
it's
right.
taught by the mama. So
That's
That's
right.
that so he can hang anywhere
Yeah.
because his
And he
yeah.
mama
knew
taught
he
him.
knew
See,
not to go run off. He didn't go running
that's
off.
right.
Wherever we
Yeah.
were, that's where he was at too. He stayed by his mama.
That's
Yes.
right. And she
Yes.
taught him.
Yes. Well,
So
that's
he
what I
done
was
been
gonna
through a lot
say.
too.
I most definitely. Yeah, training of that is like you said, Kim. You hit on a lot of good points. First of all, know who's leading these protests.
That's
You got
right.
to know the agenda. You just can't go out. Oh, I'm gonna, because you can go out to World War, 2 or 3.
Yeah, for
You know.
sure.
Also training. I mean, for me personally, like I went all last week, but also the prior ones that I went to, I am very reserved. I know what's going on everywhere around me. You have to
That's
be
right.
alert out there. You have to be alert. And peaceful, I love peaceful protests. When they went, like for instance, last week, when they were getting ready to do the march, now I chose not to go behind. I didn't even know where they went. Matter of fact, the first day I did, let me go do the march with them. I didn't know where we were going. We were just walking everywhere. And Trey was with me. He was tired. I said, I'm tired. I get it, but I kind of blamed myself because I didn't know where to go. So I was a little frustrated because I don't want to go into where I have to cover my child. Things happen. Just like when they got on the bridge and they said rubber bullets were flying and all those, and I've been seeing pictures all day about people getting their eyes knocked out, just a
Yeah,
lot of pain just happening. And I would be feeling bad that I brought my child on a deadly mission. We have to understand sometimes it could be a deadly mission and I don't want to be that parent. So what I
yeah.
do, where they're together in calmness, I'm standing in solidarity. I'm there. Once they start moving, because I know not where they're going, I'm not going. Now, if I knew
Right.
where they was going,
That's
cool,
right.
but I didn't know, so I just fell back.
Yeah. 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 And now usually, when we were fighting to take the Confederate monuments down, we knew the route before we got there. We
That's right.
talked about the route during the pre-march conversation. Before we started pounding the pavement, we talked about the route. We talked about where we were going. And I mean, even with second lines, we know the route.
That's
Mhm.
right.
We know the route. So if you're going out there, that's another rule. That's another rule. Know the route. Know the
Yes,
route before you get out there and start marching. How else will you know if you're physically capable of completing the journey?
that's correct.
So that's another thing we're gonna put on the list because I'm keeping a list of things that we are talking about.
Yes,
Know the route
yes, yes,
because
You
our
must.
own experience is what we bring into this conversation today, y'all. And I honest to God hope that we can deliver some conversation to keep people safe.
yes.
That people know they need to keep their wits about them. It's not all fun and games when you actually doing an action because you are expecting a result.
That's correct.
Because I saw it the other day where people went and laid down along Waldenburg Park laid down by the river, and I thought that was so
Uh,
powerful. That is a very powerful thing. You
Very.
But I wanted to be there just so bad. Oh my God, I want to be there just so bad. I want to be there to hear Chuck speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
To
yeah.
hear Chucky do that spoken word, because Chucky is everything with that spoken word. He been on the Tree Shakers too.
yes,
Yes.
We
yes,
go back far with Chuck Perkins, y'all. We go back
yes.
far. We've been in this quite a while. We know,
Yeah.
and we pretty much know the folks that's going to the rallies. Participate. I saw Mike Howell all in the video.
Hey, Kim, another one you can add on that list because, like you said, people have been in this before. Is know your history about these protests. Know your history because that was another one of my frustrations last week. Is this? You have people that have paved the way for our younger generation to
That's right.
to be able to have some of the luxuries. I shouldn't call them luxury, but some of the good benefits of the police not coming
Experience.
after and acting a fool. you know,
Experience.
yeah,
Yeah, they have that
because they
experience.
have the experience, and they have went. So I was frustrated a little bit. I'm like, look, give our elderlies or the older generation, give them their props. There has to be a coming together of, hey, younger generation, I see you're taking the baton of this, but hey, acknowledge us, acknowledge
Yeah,
how far we have taken this journey. You see,
you're right.
so yeah, that's another. Know your history, and also acknowledgments needs to be done. Needs to be said.
That's right. You gotta know your history. You gotta know your route. You gotta know how you gonna act out there, and you gotta know when to be safe and when not to be safe. Cause sometimes it can't be safe. We was in Baton Rouge when they did the Elton Sterling when they killed him. And do
I
you
didn't
Yeah.
know
hear
the
that
police?
one.
Well, and us and the Indians went. We went out there, our drums and all that. We marched. So then we started singing "Cops Go to Jail." Do you know the police attacked? They was mad, so they started attacking, and people
Yeah.
started running, and a lot of people didn't know what to do. You
Yeah.
know,
Wow. Yeah.
for instance, when they started running, you could have just hit the ground and just laid on the ground because they came to attack them, and and so you got to know that. I didn't saw people got remember. I don't know if you remember, Kim. Pastor Webster and them did a protest, and they shot somebody in the eye with the ping pong gun. They shot the girl right in the eye. That
Oh my God.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
they have people out there doing that, and then you got to know, say the people that say you marching for racism, right? But you'll have the other people out there along the route trying to make you hit them or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta know all that.
Right. All of that have to be considered, and then too, another thing is that when you going to a rally, really you should find out beforehand what the goals and objectives are.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Know the goals and objectives before you get there.
That's right.
And
Also, and I know you guys have the experience on that because some people do go to jail for these protests. Who's going to get you out of jail? Who is going to get you out?
And
So I did like the
that's right.
fact the lady was walking around with a sign, put this on your arm, write the number down. If
Yeah.
you're one of those to go to jail, be able to call this number. You
so
need to
they
know
did
those
have that
things.
out there. They did have that out there.
Yes, I did
Yeah.
see that.
And
Probably like on that
we
fourth
did have
day.
that. We had that
Well,
when we were doing the take them down Nola rallies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they got a group that do that. What's the name of that group? Um, there's something like coat watchers, but they're not. They watch they oversee I think it's two-lane students where they oversee and watch everything. Cause on Super Sunday they be outside. They wear some green hats and they
I
make sure
got
the
Yeah.
parades go right. I just can't call their name right now.
And
you.
that was another thing. The group security should be clearly marked.
Yeah.
Yep.
And usually, and when we would walk marching with the People's Assembly, they often said that from the podium,
Uh
who
huh.
to let the group know where the security was, so that if you had a problem with anything or something you were not sure of, you could easily find security and be directed on where you need to go. Especially if it's a large action, but if it's just you and four or five other people, then you pretty
Yeah.
much know what you want to do. But sometimes all parties in the process are not willing to play fairly, and we have
And you're
issues.
right.
And that could come
That's
from anybody. That could come from the that could come from the police, that could come from militant militia groups.
Yes.
It could come from anywhere. So that's where all of that, pay attention to your surroundings, and you
Yeah.
equipping yourself with tools going in, because you might not have a chance to make a mistake
Nope.
and
Yes.
survive it when you're doing the march.
That's correct.
You know, and I see, I often look at how man, I look at how Dr. King. Just today I was watching some of his old footage, and he talked about how he had just given a speech, and a black woman walked up to him and said, "Are you Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?" And he said, "Well, yes, I am." He said she
Mhm.
pulled out a knife and stabbed him in his chest.
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
She sure
Yes.
did.
I
And,
She
read
sure
that.
and, the,
did.
and the doctor said if he had sneezed, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
And so they
And,
rushed him to the hospital with the knife still in his chest, and they did surgery to take it out. And he
and,
said that when he was in the hospital, he said letters were just pouring in, and they actually, flashed the camera over to all of the letters that was coming in. And he
yeah.
got a letter from a little white girl, and she said,
7 years
"Thank you
old.
for not sneezing."
That's right.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I seen that. It
so,
was a
That's right.
beautiful video. Yes.
so
Yeah.
the marches are critical to the movement.
Yeah. It is. I
And
Yeah.
mean, when you
I have found Daphne and Noonie that since these organized demonstrations have started taking place, we are getting much better cooperation from our leadership like never before.
Yes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see some things happening. I see some things happening,
It
and
it
I'm
it
just
is. It is. But see, my problem with all that is this. They've been sitting in the seats, our black leaders, and
Mhm.
I watched the Democrats do a bill with George Floyd. But like the Reverend Al Sharpton said, they've been kneeling on our knees and we couldn't breathe. It should don't have to take this guy to die for them to
Another
do the
person
right
to
thing.
die. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they they waited till this guy died. Now the Democrats are claiming they're gonna do so much when you should have been doing the job, and maybe this wouldn't have happened. But
That's
then
correct.
another thing is, your what's the guy name? Drew Brees. Drew Brees made a statement, and
Yeah.
he sat there and cried 3 times or whatever. And but guess
really,
what?
you cried 3 times.
Yeah, he was crying. But at the end of the day, he do put some good money in the community. He was wrong. He was wrong because he didn't understand why Kaepernick kneeled for the kneel. He talking about his great grandpa and all them fought for the flag. It wasn't about nothing to do with that. It was
That's
about
correct.
black. It wasn't nothing to do with that. And then me and Kim know from going around, we know he shuts his restaurants down when Essence comes.
Yes, he does.
Right.
Every
When he shuts it
black
down, he
thing.
serves people food at the door. He don't let them come in the restaurant.
That's right.
And
Wow.
he only does that during Essence Fest. He doesn't do that during
That's
Mardi
right.
Gras. He doesn't
So
do that
so
during Sugar Bowl. He doesn't do
that's
Mhm.
right.
that during Super Bowl. So, and I don't know if he's full owner, part owner, or what, but that
Mhm.
restaurant itself. And then when we were fussing with the tourism bureau about
Yeah.
the restaurants that closed down or were mistreating black people during Essence Festival, they issued a statement saying that they were closed because they had to do remodeling.
Models. I seen
Yeah.
that. I remember
And,
that.
it's like, yeah, y'all really think we stupid or what? Guess what?
But they do it every time.
July,
Every
Every
time.
July,
time they have remodels.
And
July
so
is the slowest month in the year for the New Orleans hotel and motel industry.
yep.
That's really our slow season, July.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have much going on in July and August. It's real slow
Well,
around here.
it's really slow because of the COVID-19 now, because they ain't getting no
Mm.
hotel money. And
Okay.
see, like the group marching Friday, they got the they call Young Generation. They're gonna start from Orleans and Claiborne, go to Huntersville. Now, the the gu- the guy, the little boy who's doing it is 15 years old. He an Indian chief. He's well put together, and he take advice. He called me, he said, what you think I should do? I told him, first of all, we got to make sure the march secure.
Yeah.
And so all the Indians is supposed to come out there, man. They're not going to take over their march. We're just going to be out there making sure everything's secured with them because they called the march. So don't walk over the kids. You see what I'm saying? They call the march. So we're going to make sure nobody don't walk over them, but that's his march. I mean, that's him and his gang. All of them is family, little brothers that mass with him, but that's his march. So we gonna stand back because the youth call the march. So I told them all we gotta do is support them because they asked us to support them. So let them march and show them the right way. And me and the guy have been talking all day. And what I like about him, Kim, and Daphne, this kid is awesome. He's
I like
That's
that.
gonna be Friday, Noonie, at where did you say?
Yeah. Friday, 6 o'clock. That's the 12th, right? Friday the 12th?
Yeah, the 12th.
Yeah.
Orleans and Claiborne for 6 o'clock. The group is called Young Generation.
I like that.
And
I like the part of support. And that's one thing I was happy to see, all colors, ethnicities.
I love that.
Yeah, that
Diversity.
came out last week. You know, we are a human race, you know, and I was glad to see that because when are we going to just say enough's enough? I mean, we need another dead body. We need another day. I mean, you know, when is, and for me personally, when I looked at that man on George Floyd's neck, I didn't see a white man. I seen an evil man. How could he even, they said that he had an application for KKK or something prior or something. So these people, why are these policies letting them even be in a power, a police department, knowing they have ties to KKK? We know that's history, though. We know that's history.
Yeah.
You know, but that needs to stop. I just seen an evil person.
You're right, Daphne. And they know it from 2008, this man was like that, because he did somebody else something. But worse than that, the other three just sat down and like they was cheering him on.
Yeah.
Because you heard about the black lady they fired? The police was beating her. The police was away beating somebody. So what she did, she pushed the cop off. They didn't fire her. But you know what she said? If you go to Alicia Plummer's page, you can read the story. But you know what she said? She said, I'm glad y'all fired me because I'll do it again. Because she was black and this cop was taking advantage of and she made him stop. The next day they fired him.
Wow.
You know what?
Yep.
And I have found that across the country that the opportunities for justice when a black person has been harmed by the way of a police officer or by the way of somebody in authority, that justice is very slow. But when it comes down to a black person doing something that's considered to be wrong or against the law, we receive the heaviest punishment.
Yes, we do.
Swiftly.
Yes.
And that's what all of this is about. And I heard Gail King say on The View today that once they arrest all these officers, that the protests are going to stop. And I just don't see that happening. I
hope not.
Way off target with that.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't think so either, because guess
what? I hope not.
She's in a false sense of delusion if she thinks that that's what this is about.
But you see, what didn't happen was
security. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I think it's a movement that's going on because Al Sharpton didn't put all. I gotta give him this. He didn't put all the mamas together of all the children that have been killed by police officers. And guess on August the 28th, they will be in Washington protests. And he preached today, and he preached last week at the other funeral because George Floyd had 3. And you know what he told them? Kim, I could have fell out the chair. He said, we are not gonna stop. And he said, all the mamas stand up. He said, we gonna march. It's our time. We ain't gonna stop. But you know what that man said made me fell out the chair? He said, I'm about to call it like it is, and some people gonna get mad with me, He said, but you know what we got in the churches? We got punk preachers. He said, all of them are punk. They scared. Boy, I could have fell out the chair. And he preached that part of his sermon. Check his sermon out. Check it out.
I'm gonna have to watch
He
that.
preached that. I was shocked.
Wow.
He said it on national.
Yeah.
He said it on national TV. It was today. But Kim, I just sent that article to you about that lady that got fired, that cop.
Wow. And
Watch that.
I hear a lot of those kind of stories every day. Every day for so long, I've been hearing about the injustices that happen. Because I have answered the telephone calls for the NAACP for 3 years here in the city of New Orleans branch of the NAACP. I've answered those phone calls for 3 years, and not once have I been able to give a report to say the phone calls that came in for the office. Not one time did they want to hear about what was going on with the NAACP. So that's why I'm really going to try to run for the presidency of that organization.
And I'm cheering you on the
deserve that. The people, we deserve better from our civil rights organization, but
and I'm
if
cheering
we
you
don't
on.
do it, who will? And I think that in the 3 years that I've served in that capacity as a communications chairperson, for 3 years I've been answering their phone calls and getting a pulse on what's happening in the community. And all 3 of those years, I've been very active in organizing and outreach in this community. And I can tell you that organization can play a critical role in helping all of these efforts. And just because we've had some leadership that have not been able to perform in a manner that we are in need of, don't mean we need to give up on that organization. We have to do better too. We have to do better and stop allowing other people to just come in and take over what's ours. We need to be proactive and help them. I'm going to help them to do better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep doing the same thing and expecting change. I'm officially making that movement today. So I'm going to be sending out letters. Anybody that's interested in helping me with this effort, all they have to do is contact me.
Let's do it.
And let's do it, And I found out too that our show airs in every time after we record a show, that every time that show plays on Friday, it goes into rotation on the radio station.
Oh, all right, that's good.
Go to the website and go to WHIVFM.org. And on the website, it's real easy, real very friendly website. And you can look up Tree Shakers on the website, and they have all of our shows listed there. And they're playing in what he told me you call that when you have a on demand. On demand, and just tell it, what show you want, and it'll play it for you.
Yeah. So but I have found out, Kim, we just, some groups need to go through that training. I mean, if it's the People Institute, if it's me, you, Daphne showing them, they got to learn how to do grassroots protests. And some people, I'm going to tell you, I don't go to some people protests because I went to one, they was out of control. I mean, they had the youngsters cussing. They had the youngster cussing, acting a fool. And I said, man, let me get from around here, because I was very mad. And I wanted to just take the mic and say, y'all loud bad. They was protesting about the prison of the pipeline. And
the pipeline of prison in the school system.
I'm at the pipeline of prison, and I forgot this group name. Man, they had little kids out there, 14 and 15, saying all kind of stuff. I left, cussing now. And that's the way you don't do it. You don't do it. All of us had to learn grassroots, but if you should be learning. The People Institute, ask them and I know you probably know, they do a lot of grassroots training for free. They give you what that is. They give you a scholarship,
Maybe
and you
we
can
need to
learn.
have them to come on the show, Noonie.
Yeah.
We need to have
Yeah,
the People's Institute. And
yeah,
that's another thing that I miss about Justice and Beyond. We were able to talk to those people that were in that were doing that kind of organizing, so that we always had resources. It let us know what resources were available. You
yeah.
know.
And look, Kim, you saw what they did, right?
Huh.
They just dropped the charges on Angela Davis from 1972. Ain't that something?
Wow.
That's crazy.
So see, that's what I'm talking
1972.
about. All these little bitty things that just them I's just didn't get dotted and them T's just didn't get crossed. So
No,
now also too, I'm hearing that they are really moving forward with changing the name of what that is where
Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee, right?
no, the one out there, Jeff Davis Parkway, that they really getting serious about changing the name on Jeff Davis Parkway.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Leah Chase. All right.
Right, that's what they're gonna name that Leah Chase, right?
Yeah.
Are they gonna change Robert E. Lee to Leah Chase, or they gonna change the?
I thought it was Robert E. Lee because you remember you told me the one out there on Jeff Davis. Remember you said somebody had already put their own sign up?
Yeah, Angela Davis, but that wasn't official though.
Yeah, that wasn't official. So I
Or
think
they gonna
you
change
might
that
be
one to
right.
Norma Francis? He said to Norma Francis. But guess what though, y'all? You know what? We should know to have to protest to get them to make these kind of considerations.
Yeah,
And
well,
see,
yeah.
You
As
know.
I was looking, I was trying to look. Usually, every year they have a national. They have the National Police Brutality Day. I was trying to look for the day for 2020, but I know it's sometime in October. They have it where all the loved ones. I know last year and the year before, the group Families Overcoming Injustice, loved ones that had their loved ones killed here in OPD. Kim, I think you had came to one of the things that they had before. Where they honor their loved ones. So
Yeah,
I
I
think that's
did. Yeah, in front of City
yeah,
Hall. I
yeah.
did. It was real
I
good.
was trying to look for the date, those type of things. Those are after the follow-ups. We got to keep the thing moving. I was trying to look for the date for 2020 because I know the FRI group is definitely going to be planning to probably be out there right in front of City Hall again. I really don't know, but that's definitely in the works
yeah,
for them to honor their loved ones.
And I
So
want to be able to be there to support them because that was a real good group. And a lot of those families are still suffering.
still suffering.
What was that about, Daphne? What was that about again? For people who had lost loved ones to police violence?
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, the group is Family Overcoming Injustice, but it's supposed to be every year. It's like national. Every year. I was looking for the date on my phone, but it's National Brutality Police Day or something like that. But it's every year in October, every year. So those are
I think you
follow-up
got the name
things
right.
that the
Yeah,
name, yeah. I was
that's
trying
the
to look
name.
for it.
Cause I was out there. I think that's it. I think
And we
that's
Yeah.
were
the
out
name.
there. We were already down there boycotting about something else. And
That's how we
Yeah.
ran into. Yeah,
Yeah. So, those are follow up because, like I said, my heart goes out to the families that have had their loved ones killed, especially by officers that are paid to protect. That's just a hurtful feeling. So it's almost, I see some of the families and their posts is almost bittersweet. How can I get my loved one's voice named, up front like that? So I think
that's
that's
right.
one day that they can honor their loved ones and say, hey, we haven't forgot about our loved ones either, so
and they did. And they came out with their pictures. They came out
yes,
with
they did.
their heartfelt grief. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was very healing. I know it was healing for me. It helped me, just to
Hmm.
be able to be there to stand with them. And they need the community to stand with them. They need their
Yeah, and
neighbors to stand with them. Because
most definitely
that's
Miss Denise
kind of crazy.
Graves. Yeah, she does like brave vibrations. Oh man,
Yeah.
you just feel like the ancestors just coming. They're there with us present. That was beautiful. A healing time.
yeah.
Mhm. I miss the community book center so much.
Yeah, I was the
Stuff
other
that I
day.
just took for granted. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
was the
went
other
there.
day.
And I'm
I
so
bought a book.
grateful, Daphne, that you went and marched out there too. Thank you
Yes.
for doing that. Thank you so much.
And I know if it wasn't for this COVID-19, I know you, Kim, would be on the front line. You and Noonie, y'all would be on the front line. I know that.
Yeah, yeah. I got I
Yeah.
got I got a lot coming at me, but I'm doing a lot from the house. We're doing a lot of stuff and helping a lot of people, and we're doing some other protests, because we just did when it was about 3 years ago. We took the Mardi Gras Indians and we did our protest from Martin Luther King to Huntersville with the Indians and everything. We didn't have no problems. And also, it was so nice because the ambulance saw us marching across the bridge. He blocked the traffic off. He just did it. Nobody ain't tell him do it.
That's a
And then
blessing.
then three policemen came and they came and I said, look, we're not here to hurt y'all, not here to just tell us the route. And we told them, but the ambulance tripped me out. We was going across the bridge. He stopped all the traffic. He said, y'all
It's
just
good
keep
that they
moving.
did
That
that
was a
for you.
shocking.
And guess what? The thing about that is that you have a right to peacefully protest.
Yes.
That's right.
You have a right to do that. And if you just walking down the street in solidarity, then that should be enough. That should be enough.
You're right.
You know what I'm
You're right.
saying?
Yeah.
And we living in a time where we have so much over policing, where they're so swift to want to criminalize. But we got to be able to do better. We have to do better by that. So it is important, and I'm glad that people are going out and participating in the actions and learning how to participate. That they even want to hear about how to do it. That they even calling to see about how to do it. Because my telephone number is still listed with the New Orleans NAACP.
And you still getting the calls, huh?
And I'm still getting the calls, but that's okay because guess what? Now I have let them keep on getting their calls. Let them keep on not putting their number out there so people could call them. And people gonna
Yeah.
end up calling somebody like me. And I'm organizing right now.
I know
I'm
that's right.
organizing right now to run for the president of this organization.
And,
And
and
I'm
you
Yeah.
know
asking
what,
my
Kim?
community to help me so that we can make it better for all of us. Not
You
just
know
for when
what, Kim?
people get in trouble, but we gonna lay the law of the land with
Yeah.
our elected officials too. We need somebody
And
that's gonna hold them accountable, not befriend them.
you're right. But one thing I thought was a big thing you did, but the mayor didn't take heed to it. When you told her, you said, "Look, we need to all organize the grassroots
She
movement,"
didn't. She didn't
and
want to
that
hear
would have
that.
been, but it
You
would
know
have
what she
been
told me
perfect.
about that? Know what she had to say
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, but it would have been perfect. And the reason why I brought it up because that's what Mark Morial did. What he did was he organized the grassroots movement. So when he organized the grassroots movement, check out what he did. It was deep, Daphne, what he did. He said, look, I'm gonna bring Richard Pendleton in there to be over the police. They didn't
Yeah, he
have no
did.
problem with the grassroots movement. They
Right.
ain't had no problems because
None.
Mark
None.
was working with the grassroots group. But
Yeah.
when you told her that, I thought that was I thought she was gonna say, Kim, let's do
You
it.
right.
But she
Let's
didn't
do it.
want to do it.
You know
You
what she
know?
told me? You know what she told me? She said she's already
Yeah.
at the helm of the grassroots
That's
organizations. I'm
what
like,
she
oh no,
said.
you're not. I don't know. She said she
That's
don't
what
need to
she
do that.
said.
Yep, she said she don't need to do that. So I
And
wanna,
guess
and we got these new elections coming up, y'all. We got to be careful that our rights don't get taken away,
Gotta go out there
one
and
especially
vote.
especially
Yeah.
our right to organize and protest.
and guess
Yeah.
what, Kim? It's being attacked, and it's being attacked. The right to protest one is being attacked. The 1965 Civil Rights Act was just for that, not to attack nobody protesting. Also, Dr. King made it that people had rights and everything. So look what the Supreme Court a couple of years ago took Section 5 out. Section 5 was the meat and bones. Now they're trying to take Section 4 out. And
Wow, they
just
just
what you
taking them
saying,
from. Wow.
That's right. So 1, 2, and 3 don't mean nothing, but 4 and 5 mean something. So they're
Wow.
trying to take it a while. And like Kim saying, our leaders are just sitting up there letting this happen. They're letting it happen. The
And
only
you know
time we
what the
see them
civil rights,
is
you know what the people say. The people say your silence
that's
during
right.
my when I'm being hurt and harmed, if you can be silent, then you are part of that problem. You are
That's
part of
right.
Yep.
That's right. And,
Oh,
and, and they're quietly taking the rights away. And we got our, I want to say our black oppressors, I call them the black oppressors, standing
yeah.
up there, going with the white oppressors, taking our black rights. But look how crazy they are. If they take our rights, they're taking your rights too, fool.
I always say what they say, just because you my skin don't mean you my kin. And I've been
That's
saying
right.
that people get all offended when I say it, but I
That's
say
right.
that all the time. You have black oppressors too. It's just not white. I hate to
That's
say
right.
that, but it's the
Me and
truth.
Kim always said.
Yes,
I
just
mean, me,
because you my
me,
skin don't mean you my kin.
that's right.
I'm gonna write that
That's
down.
right. That's because that's because you my
Because you
skin
my
does not mean
skin.
you my kin. You know
and
what that
that's
lady.
true, Daphne. You know,
You know.
that's true. But I think we got a movement that's going all across the world. Even look, it was so pretty. I saw Africa. I saw Italy,
London,
London,
all that,
London.
London,
Yes,
Russia.
all that. So the movement, I really think this is the time in the movement. The torch won't burn because too many groups and countries getting involved now. Because they didn't took in Africa, they didn't already took the thing down, and guess what the center name? George Floyd.
yeah,
So it's a serious movement going on.
It's
yeah.
a
And
serious
then we can't
movement,
forget
y'all.
about the youth. That's
Like
the
I've
biggest
never
part.
seen
We got to
before. It's
show
like
our
I've
youth.
never seen this kind of work. And we've been doing this a while, y'all. We've been doing this now about
Yes,
10 years or so, right?
yes. I've been
And,
5,
Yep.
6, yeah. And
and
like you
I'm
said,
excited, Daphne. I'm
it's
excited.
yes,
I'm so
yes,
excited. I was so excited. And just to think, Noonie, when we were doing Lots Academy, man, that helped to say, and I believe that it was those things that have brought us to here to this
Yeah,
day
for sure. For
to
yeah,
sure.
be able to
Because
experience it.
you
This
didn't
didn't
know.
just fall out of the sky. We've been doing peaceful protests for a long time. And you know, when we
yeah.
go down there to city council meetings and talk about our disparities, that's peaceful protesting.
Yes, it
That's
is.
right.
When
It
we
is.
calling our council people and telling them what the issues are, when they say, "Oh, you got to come and jump up and down and do jumping jacks 15 times," and then we can hear what you got. No, you got to dress up like a clown and come down here to city council meeting.
I remember
Then
that,
we can
Kim. I
hear you.
Don't
remember
you know, Kim?
that.
Look, so now we
I
here.
remember that.
So now we here. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
remember it too. The mayor remembers it also because she actually sat on that council. She sat on that
Yeah.
city council. And so I tell you, you know, they doing a lot of things right now I'm very concerned about. Did you know that housing authority denied me the opportunity to listen in to their public meeting?
And that should be illegal.
That should be
That should
illegal.
be
And it's a
illegal.
public meeting, Kim. It's a
Yes.
public meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Their board meetings are public meetings. And they actually,
Wow.
I got the text message that the email that they sent to me saying that they've looked at it and decided that they're not going to let me participate in the Zoom meeting.
And that should be legal.
That should be illegal because you know I could go there and call for everything they voted on in that meeting to be rescinded.
That's
Yeah.
right. Because one the
Key
community
thing
support
too,
them.
Kim. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Noonie. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Noonie. I'm
now
sorry.
you go ahead, Daphne. Go ahead.
Another thing, Kim, what you keep on saying without saying is knowledge is power.
That's right.
You
Got
gonna put that
to
down
know,
too.
not you got to know
Knowledge.
history. You got to know the key players. You know, knowledge is power, Kim. Because, like I said, when you know things, you can do the effective change.
Right. And
Knowledge is power.
you can't know that your rights have been violated if you don't know
That's
what your
right.
rights are. You'll
That's
never know.
correct. That's
And
correct.
that's where Daphne program came in when she taught us about the advocacy, and that was great because we didn't know nothing about no juveniles and what was going on, and
I had
so
no
people
idea.
learned that.
Yes.
That's where
I
our
had no
program
idea.
came in.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
I learned about the
And
juvenile, the injustice in the juvenile courts, you open that door for me, Daphne, and I will
yeah,
always be grateful to you for that. Here, sweetheart, I will always be grateful to you. And you know, people talk the talk, but just because somebody is young does not mean that older people can't learn from them.
and guess what,
And
Kim?
vice versa. Vice versa.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And guess what, Kim? She
Mm.
kept the class. She kept the class because if it's boring, I'm going to sleep. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But guess what? She
Yeah, we
kept
ain't
us
never went to sleep.
motivated. She had us into it. She had us playing games. We were trying to win in the games and everything.
Daphne, Daphne,
It
let
seemed
me
like
tell
a
you.
revival, huh? Yeah, it's the revival, huh, Noonie and Kim? When you
Yeah,
gonna do it again? It's gonna come soon. I'm just,
yeah, because I was taking no
it's gonna
game
come
serious. I
soon.
was trying to win.
You know what, Daphne?
Uh-huh.
I left that class. I left that course that training that we did because it was a training,
Yes, it
Yeah,
was. Yes.
and I left that training feeling like I wanted to write a note so that
yeah,
every parent whose child was involved in that juvenile system
Mhm.
would sign up to come and take that class.
that's
Yes.
right.
Matter
And
of fact, every parent who has a child should take that class
Yes.
that's right.
because nobody, no, I don't think anybody plans that. Oh, okay, today my baby gonna go to school and my baby not gonna come home because the police gonna come and get my baby from school, and the
Cool.
school is not gonna tell me.
Yeah, you're right. You're
The
right.
Yeah,
school is
it's
not gonna
not
tell
like
me. And we have had parents who have had their children arrested during the
rested.
school day and the child didn't come home and they called the police and then find
What
out to the next morning that their child was arrested at school
Kim? What the
the
one we
day
dealt
before.
with? A 7 years old. Remember the 7 years old? They put handcuffs on the child.
Yeah.
Somebody came to Kim and told him it was a while back. I think she got
It
it
was
through the
in
NAACP
Jefferson.
phone.
That was in Jefferson Parish, though.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
That was in
yeah,
Jefferson Parish, and
yeah.
this little kid,
Yeah.
and he was a little older than 7. He might have been like 8 or 9,
All right.
but his mother had died. His mother had died right before school started. So he was having a really hard time going to school with his mother having just died. And then when it got
Yeah.
close, as it got closer to Christmas, he started having more and more problems. And the kids started teasing him because he was a little chubby fella.
Yeah.
And the kids started teasing him. And they said that he told him that they better leave him alone or he was going to kill him. And so they used that to handcuff that baby and take him out of school. And Daphne and Noonie, I was outraged by that.
Yeah.
I was just fit to be tied. But you know, you can't let, when you're dealing with children, I think that as an adult, you really have to maintain some decorum
Oh, you have to. Yeah, because
and
they're
not and
watching.
not and not lose it and come
Yes.
unraveled. But I was pretty rattled. I was pretty rattled. So I pulled him aside. I said, "Baby, Miss Kim is gonna come to your hearing tomorrow." Because it was the day before the hearing. His grandmother was raising him. His grandmother and his aunt was raising him, and they were. The grandmother was so heartbroken that this had happened to her grandbaby. She was
Mhm.
heartbroken. She was just upset about it. And
And which she had every right to be.
the auntie
Yeah.
was just mad, but the grandmother was really the primary caretaker. But the
Yeah.
auntie kind of like took care of all of the business and stuff because she had a full-time job that she
Mhm.
was working to help support the family. So the grandmother was the one who was preparing the breakfast, cooking the,
Yeah.
cleaning the clothes, washing and cleaning, taking care of the actual care of him to fill in for his mother. And she was sick, but I went to that hearing the next day. But before we got there, I told that baby, I said, look, just he and I said, Miss Kim gonna come down there and help you, and I'm gonna show you how adults respect people when they know their rights. when they
Yes.
know the rights. I said, yeah, I said, Miss Kim gonna handle up for you. Miss Kim, I'm gonna show you how bullies can back down. And guess
Yes.
what? Girl, I went out there deaf. I went there like a hurricane. I went, I went there like a
Going with
hurricane.
your tools of the knowledge. Going with the tools of
Right,
your
with the
knowledge.
tools of knowledge, baby. I went
Yes.
in there to throw down. So when I
And they
went in there,
respect
they
it.
even had an attorney. They had hired an attorney. But that's why I
Yes.
say attorneys have their place, but so do advocates.
Yes,
We have
they
our
do.
place too.
Yes.
So we went in there. So they were there, but I was a few minutes late, and they had walked into the room, and I could see the baby was feeling. He really was feeling. He was afraid. He was intimidated. They had intimidated him, and so help me God, they had a black man sit. He was sitting behind the desk, and so I didn't say anything. You know, I greeted them and winked at the little boy and stuff. You know, so he was glad I was there too, right? I said, I'm gonna show you. I whispered to him, I'm gonna show you. So the man said, well, this, that, and the other, and he opened up his book like he had this big old book, and he looked. And he just put the book down there on the desk and just commenced the blah 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 blah. And he said, "Well, I want to know who all is in the room. Who are you? You know, who is everybody who's in here?" So they all went around and introduced themselves, and I didn't say anything. I just said, because I was the last one there.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, then who are you?" And so I read him what my credentials were. Look, his jaw dropped. Look, he hurry up, slapped that book shut, and walked out the door. That little boy laughed like somebody had tickled him.
Power just knowledge.
Now,
Yes.
now, when I told him who I was, I said,
Mhm.
I want to see what it looks like that you could take this baby who just lost his mama out of school in handcuffs and threatening to expel him. I wanted to see what you look like. That's why I came here today.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That black man got his mind right.
That's right. That's right.
He walked out the room, and he came back with some act right. When he came back in there, he said, "Oh, we gonna dismiss all of this and we're gonna erase this off his record."
Yeah, we have to. Have to. Children make mistakes. Adults make mistakes. Who doesn't make mistakes?
Yeah.
You know. And I hope I hope the young man is doing well now.
I hope so too. But I don't know. You know, I haven't heard from them anymore. But that was a real good one. That was a win for the people there. A win for the children. Yeah. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Knowledge is power. So people all under the sound of our voices here today. If you all are going to join an action, know what you're getting into.
Yes.
Know what you're getting into. Always know your rights, no matter what you're doing. Always know your rights. Yep. Know your rights.
Yes.
Know your rights. Y'all want me to go back over the list and read what I
Yeah, to sum up everything.
Okay, so here we go. I have to get my readers on.
Yeah, and Daphne don't forget, Kim, we have limited time, but Daphne got an announcement.
Okay, yeah. Daphne got an announcement. I'm going to read the rules and then we're going to do Daphne's announcement. The rules for protesting. Know your organizers. Know the people who are arranging the action. Talk with them. See where they're coming from. Keep your wits about you when you're out there on the front line in a demonstration. Don't go run up to the top of the Mississippi River Bridge if you're scared of heights, children. Just know where you're going. Know the route. Know where you're going. And keep your wits, be alert. Pay attention. Pay attention. If you see something rumbling going on in the crowd, get away. Move. Unless you want to be a part of the fight too. Because some people want that. You know what I'm saying? Some people feel like they won't get out there for a fight. But I've never wanted to do that, you know. Know what the agenda is. What you're gonna be talking about. You don't want, if profanity offends you, don't go to no march where somebody cursing at.
That's right.
The first sign of trouble, get away. Go on and move. You know what I'm saying? Get out there. Don't get no fight with nobody if you don't want to fight. That's not
That's
what
right.
it takes away from the action. It takes away from
That's
the
right.
person. If you're not going to help, then don't go to hurt.
That's
right.
right.
Know the rules. Know the rules. Everybody who is in security has on a green bracelet.
Mhm.
Everybody who's the water is gonna be to the right. The sanitizer is gonna be to the left. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
know the route. Know where you're going at. You're leaving here, you're going down Tulane Avenue to the jail. You know what I'm saying? Know the route. Know where you're going. Know how far it is. Know if you're capable to do that. Take care of your health before you get there. Be
Mhm.
healthy. Take your medicine. Don't be out there and you ain't took your blood pressure medicine.
Yes.
Huh, Noonie? Noonie? Take care of yourself,
Yeah,
okay?
most definitely. Mhm.
Because I'm gonna post these on online too, and you should meet or participate in the organizing when possible.
Most definitely.
You know, meet with the people. Meet with the people when they're having their organizing meetings. You go, you attend, you see if they're on Zoom, whatever. Find out about them. Find out who they are. Find out what their credentials are. Find out what they've done, so you can
Mhm.
have an idea about what to expect when you get there, knowing their goals and objectives before you get there. And group security should be there. If you get
That's right.
arrested, you want to be sure you're gonna be able to get out of jail.
Have it on your arm. Have it on your arm somewhere on your body.
Somewhere on your
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
And that kind
Yes.
of stuff has to be discussed. You know, nobody wants to go to jail, but if you do have to go to jail, you don't want them to just leave you in there and you know you ain't got the means to get out of jail. Because I
Yeah.
talked to Byron Cole and he told me, baby, he went to jail and ain't nobody cared that nobody ain't helped him get out of
But
jail.
guess what? Kim, lately in the protesters, they've been doing that. You write on your arm, or they tell you write on your hand, or whatever, and they already have a lawyer set, and it be the judge's set. So when you go, the judge automatic release you. That's how Chuck got automatic release.
But
Mhm.
guess what though? Now that we have COVID-19, getting arrested could kill you. The ride from the police station
It
to the
should.
the ride
Yeah.
from the event to the police station
It
could have
should.
you
Yes.
Yeah,
contacted
it could.
COVID-19. So
Yeah.
You're right.
it ain't just about getting arrested no more. It's more than
Yeah.
that.
No.
It's the
Okay.
health, right?
So yeah, know about security, know about protecting yourself, know what to do if you go to jail. What is the outcome or the best possible outcome of the protest? Are you just protesting to jump up and down and scream and holler, or are you just
No.
protesting to make things better or to have an action happen for some reason or
That's
another?
right.
And the young people's generation is 6 p.m. at Orleans and Claiborne, August the 28th in DC. Who said that? Daphne.
Uh-uh.
And
Noonie,
and
he
uh,
said they're having
and
something.
I'm gonna close with knowledge is power and know your rights.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
just
Ooh.
because you my skin don't mean you my kin.
That's right.
Know your rights.
Noonie, when did you say they were having that this Friday coming?
Yeah, this Friday coming, Orleans and Claiborne, 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
right there. And they just gurned the Huntersville. And they took the short right because they're youngsters.
All right. My thing is basically, and I do apologize, Noonie, if I didn't have an event myself this Friday, I definitely would have been in attendance. There's a webinar, the Men Empowerment Hour webinar, hosted by Antonio Travis from the founder of Black Man Rising. We're having a webinar at 6 o'clock ourselves. That's this coming Friday.
All right.
Basically, it's Black brothers going over insurance. Once again, giving out knowledge, the insurance credit. And also because Father's Day is approaching, y'all want to know where I get my strength from. We're having a little celebration and thanking my father. He'll be on the line as well,
Oh, that's good.
giving him out there. So this
But
kind
you
of
have to
leading up
say
to
that,
Father's Day.
Daphne, because people won't hear your father. We won't hear your daddy, girl. Yeah, because your daddy
Well,
got
guess
a
what, Kim?
powerhouse for a daughter.
Kim,
Yes.
Huh?
Kim, make sure you put that on your agenda. We're gonna have to have the dad on the show to come give us that knowledge.
I wish he would have. I wish he would have had him on here today to announce it.
we we didn't think
But that's
about it.
all right.
That's all
We'll
right.
follow up with him again. We got space for him too. He's
Yeah,
Daphne.
yeah,
But
he's the root of my
but
powerhouse.
And
but
that's
what
gonna
you
be
need?
Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it'd be Friday at 6 p.m. the webinar. There's a link. But also,
Cool.
if you just want to call in, the number's 351-888-7532. If you want to just listen in on the phone, you can call in as well.
Yeah,
You don't
that's what
have
I'm
to just be
telling
on
you.
the webinar.
Send me the
And
link, Daphne.
how
Okay.
can
Send
they
me the
get the
link because while I'm
how
at
can
the
they get the
thing, I
link?
can listen.
The link, I do have it posted on the line, but the link is it's kind of long, but I send y'all that
Yeah.
information, the flyer itself.
Send me the
Yeah.
information so we can put it out there. And if somebody want to find it, they can just look. Do you have it registered in Eventbrite?
No, it's not registered. No,
Well,
kind of a little bit.
I'm gonna do that I'll do that in Eventbrite for you. Don't cost
Because what
Yeah.
I'm going to
anything.
do, I'm going to have my headphones in my ear. So I'm going to be with the protest, but I'm going to be listening to
You
Daphne
can
and them too.
definitely
All
just
right.
call
I'm
in.
bad
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Kim taught me.
I
I'll get that
know.
on
Kim
No, I
taught me
know you
Eventbrite.
tough.
Kim,
So
no, Kim
if
taught.
anybody go to Eventbrite, what's the name of the event, Daphne?
It's Men Empowerment our webinar. Just empowering coming from the male perspective.
Men
Yeah.
Empowerment Webinar.
Hour. Yes, Men
Men
Empowerment
Empowerment
Hour.
Hour
Yes.
Webinar.
Yes.
So if y'all look that up, y'all go to eventbrite.com and you put a search in for that, it's gonna pop right up. I'm gonna do that for Daphne this app. I'm gonna do that for Daphne
It's
ahead of
free.
the
It's free.
Friday
Y'all
event.
know how I'm about giving out the resources. So those are
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah, that's
You want to know
great.
about insurance, credit. These guys have been in the game, and like I said,
That's good.
special thing for my father. He's a pastor. He's going to be on the line. Going to have like a special shout out for him, a little celebration. Yeah, we got to
That's what I'm
celebrate our
talking.
men while they're living.
That's
I
right.
don't want to constantly celebrate RIP, rest in power when they're gone. We got to
That's right.
continue to uplift the men because
That's
they
right.
are our protectors. Part of our protectors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
that's
Dan.
cool. But see,
Okay,
Kim
Noonie.
taught me. Wait, before you go, Kim taught me all this, teaching me all this high tech technology and stuff. So I'm gonna be bad. Kim teaching me.
I don't know it. You gotta keep up, bruh.
That's all right. You keep
Don't
me up.
feel
I
bad.
know who to call.
Look, don't feel bad, Noonie, because guess what? Technology changes so fast. You learn one
And guess
thing
what?
and then into
And
something
guess
else.
what? Kim did something for me, and it was in another language.
Yeah, we
She
got a
bad.
bad sister. Oh, yeah, she's
Yeah.
bad.
I get on that phone, say, Kim, how you do this? She gonna tell me. And if she don't know, she say, I'm gonna call you back in 3 minutes.
Uh-huh. Well, Kim, I appreciate you letting me be on the tree shakers. Let's keep on shaking this tree
Is
of
this the
That's
first
love
right.
and
time you on
knowledge.
Tree Shakers, Daphne?
Huh?
This your first time on Tree
Yes,
Shakers?
it is. Yes,
Well,
it is.
you should have been on here, baby, because you my go-to. You my go-to. What a joy. So much fun hanging out, the three of us, because the three of us can really have a good time. We
Yeah,
party
we
the
gotta
same way.
see. We gotta find out if the faith base still do their thing. We might don't have a sponsor, but we gotta go see it.
All we got to do is ask them. They don't let us come, but it's just,
Yeah.
with this
They still doing it?
COVID-19 thing.
Oh.
We
Yeah, that
still doing it.
COVID-19, yeah.
If
But
we can
I
do it,
plan
we
on
may be
August.
able to go virtually. Would y'all be interested in doing that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing I'm interested in is August the 28th when they march on the White House with all the parents that children then died, and
That's
right
what it is.
tickets are real cheap. All we gotta find us a hotel. Tickets are real cheap right now.
Noonie, I ain't going out there, bro. I'm gonna follow them on Zoom.
Oh, live.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep you on. I'm gonna let you see the march from my phone.
I'm going to look at it. August the 19th,
I help you
right?
get out there, bro. I
August
help you get
28th.
out there. You know
Okay.
that. You know that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right, guys.
I wanna
Love
go
y'all.
support
Talk
it
to
and
y'all
see.
Love you.
soon. Yeah?
All right,
That's definitely.
peace. Thank y'all.
Hi.
Now,
Till next week, Tree Shakers.